The feedback from the competitors has always been the heart and soul of how Norwalk has changed. Having the builders first, I think will always be our top priority. They are the bread and butter of this tournament. Without them, we'd be nothing.
NHRL is controlled chaos. I would say it's mostly controlled chaos.
It's the most glorious thing you can ever lay eyes on.
This is a place to have fun and compete and learn, and that's for everyone.
This is mayhem, this is carnage, this is madness, and I love it.
If you're gonna fly to the US to fight, it's gonna be a big event. I think Is Havoc is the best organized competition that I've been into, that I've seen. So that's why we're here. It's gonna be fun.
We're always trying to make it inclusive and comfortable place to fight. Just come and have fun. That's all.
Welcome to This Is Havoc, our new one-hour show for each NHRL event. In this 2022 season July episode, we'll show you all the best in-cage action, plus you'll get to meet the makers. You'll also say goodbye to a Havoc legend, and you'll go behind the scenes like never before. Let's dive straight in with the road to the finals. In the 3-pound bracket, Angel Vidal's team Shred It's Bot Hype Train faced Wasabi, which landed hit after hit to take the win. Brian Boxall and Eruption sent Wasabi into the elimination bracket, where it stayed alive by defeating Team Shred It captain Evan Arias and his bot Shred It Bro.
I'd say big hits, just as you expect out of Shred It, right off the bat.
Absolutely glorious. Yeah, I call this a bit of a rivalry, but Team Shred It really is the best drum spinners in the American 3-pound scene.
It's amazing the stylistic difference you get from, region to region. Wow, whoa. Look at that hit.
And after a heavy hit fight that went the distance, Wasabi emerged victorious. Wasabi then made quick work of yet another Team Shred It bot in Camino before facing the greatest challenge, a brand new Melty Brain that came out on top, cutting Wasabi's day short.
And hope you don't break. That's a tap out. That means your winner is the greatest danger.
Wow.
Mechanical Advantage entered the tournament on a 21-match winning streak and racked up a victory against Minotaur captain Marco Antonio Meggiolaro and his bot Minotauro. But despite their dominant performance, Mechanical Advantage was ultimately eliminated by the Melty Brain of the Greatest Challenge. Inside Job delivered some of the most entertaining wins of the day, notably piercing and lifting up a modified jack move, and winning a close judges' decisions over Brazil's team AGVS and their flagship bot Sombra. Sombra had a 4-match run in the elimination bracket, defeating top bots Red Hawk X, Silk, Dreadhaze, and Seppi01, before being knocked out by a drift. Team AGVS's bot Twinbee snapped the Greatest Challenge in half, sending it into the elimination bracket, where it was ultimately defeated by a drift to take 4th place.
So I work, and I do robots, and I sleep, and that's about it. My name is Zoe Lambert. I am 25 years old. I'm from St. Mary's County, Maryland, and my robot is Bugsby. I do first robotics, so I mentor and I help students. While mentoring that is amazing and it's so much fun and I love inspiring the students, I really wanted something that I could do more of. I really wanted something that I could call my own. With combat robots, I get to be the driver, I get to build the robot. It's my ideas that get to come into play.
Seems like he's...
And if you don't mind us asking, what's the day job?
I work as a computer scientist for the Navy, but really I kind of just pick up whatever needs to get done. So sometimes I'm doing CAD work, sometimes I'm doing some mechanical stuff. It's kind of whatever I can pick up. NHRL encourages crazy ideas. Like Bugsby is the burger bot. I didn't really think it was gonna look like a burger when I originally designed it, but when I said it, that was encouraged online. It became a joke and it was amazing. Bugsby goes off the concept of I'm a very bad driver, and I accept that. One thing I learned with Busy Bee is that I have to aim my weapon, and if I don't have to aim my weapon, then I can do a lot better. Bugsby is a shell spinner. The weapon is the entire body of the robot, and it means I don't have to aim. I can just get close to my opponent, and something will hit something, and it will be fun.
In the 12-pound bracket, Zoe Lambert and Bugsby came up against Smeezes, who knocked the buns right off the burger-shaped bot, which led to Zoe tapping out. Next up in the competition for Smeezes was Ramplan, and its innovative and highly effective waggle stick.
He's so strong. And look at this, Joe Fabiani now changing his strategy, trying to turn himself into a melty brain. Wow. Business Cat will come in here and punish you for that, Joe. This is absolute domination here from Business Cat and Ramplan.
Ramplan, who had earlier speared Otis and the winner of the May event, Yob Knoll, would now go on to face Jameson Go and Psycho in the undefeated semifinals. Psycho, who had already seen off Crunk with a thunderous knockout hit, then staged a mighty comeback against Brazilian team AGVS and their 12-pound bot Sombra, having been tipped on its head at the start of the fight.
Nasty hit there from Sombra.
Tomas finding the low grab, popping Jameson Go on his head. Here we go.
There it is. Last 43 seconds. Psycho is 100% up and Adam on its feet.
Jameson Go trying to come in here to kill.
Yes! Jameson is saying, this is what four-wheel drive vertical spinner action is like. I like it.
He's got to come in here and kill. He's got 20 seconds left. Can he do it?
Yes! Beautiful hit there from Psycho, and Jameson Go just nasty.
Tap out.
That's a tap out. This will not go to the judges.
Psycho.
Elsewhere from Brazil, Toro Jr., a smaller version of Toro Maximus, opened the competition by making light work out of Solarplex in a fight that lasted a matter of seconds, with Toro Jr. hitting the battery right out of its opponent.
And Solarplex is what's left of that bot that's being pushed over to the corner by Bubbles.
NHRL fan favorite Pramheda and Zack Knight faced off against manufacturer Recalled, who had a little surprise waiting in store.
Number 2 ranked robot of all time here at Norwalk. Havoc, driven by Zack Knight, facing off against manufacturer Recalled. Is that right? Thomas Carroll from Fairfields, Connecticut.
That's right.
I would say like there's a little bit of kind of milk tank DNA in manufacturer Recalled.
Well, you know, they've got the cow
Robots fight.
style glitter
good
balloon.
speed manufactured.
That's an airbag. This is a concept that we've been hearing about for a long time.
Kyle, he sucked it right into his weapon. What?
I don't know if I'd be happy about this if I was Zack. Oh, look at that.
No.
The weapon is wrong.
That is
Oh,
off
the weapon
kilter.
is Zack Knight. He looks really happy, you guys.
Yeah, Zach's really pleased with that entire experience. Zach has a lot of work to do on Pramheda.
Yeah, okay. So at the moment, it seems like with the pressure that from bending the frame, the top plate really did not want to come out. My biggest priority after that fight was making sure to inspect the batteries, make sure they're not damaged in any way. We all know that lipos like to go very bad, very quick. Overall, the frame's actually really bad damaged. Getting this weapon shaft out is going to be a little bit of a tall task, but we'll get it done. I really just want to swap everything to this frame. I borrowed a backup frame because I expected to lose things throughout the day. Just, I guess, not in this way. I have so much force running through my weapon that when it caught the airbag just wrapped itself in all the tight little crevices around the weapon and just destroyed everything. Frame rails are bent. The weapon motor pulleys broke. Pulley on the weapon looks to have completely twisted itself around. So I don't even know how I'm gonna get this pulley off of here. That's gonna be a fun time. but you can see that these are supposed to be perfectly straight, and they're bent out at an awkward angle. Next course of attack, I want to check my weapon motor system. If the weapon motor doesn't seem to be too bent, I might just throw it in the other robot. Yeah, everything's looking okay internally, just the damage suffered to the frame. Now, it looks like now that I've got weapon shaft out and it's not pushing on anything anymore, the frame's straightened up a little bit, so I might actually be able to take and replace them with a couple older parts I have and just put straight ones on, because it looks like the main problem's all the aluminum. Not entirely happy about it, but
well, I don't blame you.
I don't think anybody would be.
I was in the green room and there was a lot of discussion about whether or not airbags should be allowed.
Yeah, he's not even gonna put one on for the next fight. He'll do something else. He saw what the after effects of what he did was, and he felt really bad. He was a first-time builder. I can't blame him.
Oh yeah.
Guy tried something new. And when the first-time builders are normally the guys that give us the best entertainment. Because all of us normal guys, we build roughly similar things over and over. Yeah, I'm not mad at him one bit. I made my own mistakes in that fight, and I should have just turned my weapon off after it was exploded anyways. As I press a straight one up against it, there's quite a bit of flex to it. Oh well, things happen. So here, you can see that each frame rail should all be parallel to each other. If I bolted this back in and it seemed twisted in any way, it would tell me that this cross frame is bent because I'm not changing it. There's a little bit of things that I'm not exactly happy with at the moment. I think the frame's twisted just slightly, and so it's gonna pull my front wedges off the floor. When that airbag exploded, every little bit of the 3D printed pulley just kind of twisted upon itself. Now it's completely junk. I can't use this. We don't come here expecting not to get damaged. I need a bunch of washers. So we got pressure on the shaft.
How's it going?
The amount of bend is, most verts don't bend me that hard.
I don't know if that's something I should be proud of or
A little bit of both. You're a first-time builder. Like, you brought a very unique idea. Did it backfire? Yes. Nobody in the world is going to be mad at you for that. But there was never an intention from you to be an entanglement device.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a launch, have the bag
Yeah.
off, break off.
Which I don't judge you a single bit for any of it. I've always known that one of my greatest weaknesses will be my back cross frame, but it's not often anybody ever gets to there. So this little pink cover saves all my drive electronics from uncertain death. So I gotta remove the connections off this motor and solder on some new ones. I've already got my wires pre-tinned. Now I've created myself a little bit of a jig with my helping hands. Now I just need to get the wire connected inside of the back end of the connector. Luckily there's little holes that make getting the solder inside of it incredibly easy. Right now, all I'm doing is buttoning this up, getting all the electronics pushed back inside of it, and then we will get the drivetrain put together, which should only take a couple minutes, and bolt armor on. So my battery leads are my biggest problem when initially resetting the electronics internally. All I have to do is put the front wheels on, run a belt between each one. So all they are is they're held in with a shoulder bolt, which I can actually just steal from this one with a couple screws. Toss the armor on this one as well, and put the front armor on. Last top plate, we're good to go. Because the frame rail doesn't want to sit flush, I will make it sit flush. Just pulling the frame rail in a little bit so that I can run the screws directly back into it, put it under tension, and then be all set. I think that's a completed robot. Let's find out. Okay. Cage is closed, everybody's safe. Something's backwards, that's fine. I can get that reversed. It's just a simple little change, but most thing I care about is the weapon. Do I have weapon? I do not. So that being said, first thing I need to do is go back and get that changed up, see what I can do to fix it.
So there we see Zack dancing back and forth, getting ready for his fight, going up against a literal legend.
There he is.
Pramheda having a little bit of trouble getting out of the corner there.
Uh-oh.
And look at the drive on Pramheda, just drifting around Toro Jr.
Pramheda's weapon down?
Yeah, it's definitely not spinning at full speed. And it's all that powerful four-wheel drive drivetrain on Pramheda that's giving him these advantages in these interactions right now. Grinding hits on Pramheda. They just knocked him over onto their head there. Tap out. There it is. That is your tap out.
Toro Jr.
You can just see the paint and the erosion on the front of that weapon.
Yeah.
It's probably because it's been a long day.
This is a good outcome. So how you feeling? What did you do right?
We tried to avoid the corners, not to get stuck in the box, on the cage. And also it was all about driving as well, because they have a larger weapon, so weapon to weapon we might lose it. We also were lucky that his weapon was not working fully, so.
Yeah, because a very experienced competitor that you were up against.
Zack Knight and Pramheda, they have had a day picking out pieces of an airbag from an earlier match, trying to fix some wonky drive issues. Pramheda is one of our top-ranked 12-pounders, and we're just not seeing the same kind of speed and drifting motion from Pramheda that we typically see.
Chunk of the sidewall just got ripped off.
Oh, wow. Huge airtime.
The winner is Yabganal.
Wow, Yabganal takes it. Zack Knight is going home with Pramheda. I will say Zack Knight has had quite a day, you know? Running into that airbag earlier in the day, and taking pieces of that airbag upstairs to the pits and trying to pick it out, you know, of that weapon housing. You know, like that was an incredibly destructive match.
Yeah, totally.
And perhaps a little controversial.
I heard things.
Yeah.
This is honestly one of the biggest rebuilds I've done midday. Typically, I'm changing one or two parts, not swapping everything to a whole nother chassis.
And now for the real heavyweights of Norwalk in the 30-pound bracket. Starting off with the 47-pound knockoff white going up against Phenomenon.
Absolutely deafening sound of those stomping legs from knockoff whites.
Just echoing in this entire room, so loud, so distracting. That was vicious. Can that hammer retract? It's looking like that might have been just a one-shot pony. There's not much armor on it, but the armor that is there really keeps you away from anything vital. Looks like we just lost both of the little forks on Knockoff White. Knockoff White just has a piece of UHMW front plow now. That's all that's left. And they are shoving Phenomenon right up against that guardrail, just jamming that weapon into the wood.
In the end, it went to the judges, who recognized Knockoff White's dominance with the pins. In the other semifinal, Depth Charge, a double disc spinner, came up against Toro Feather and the RioBotz team.
Trying to spin up those weapons.
Nasty. And that there is a knockout, ladies and gentlemen.
The undefeated final saw Toro Feather on the receiving end of a relentless number of hits from Knockoff White's weapon.
Oh, the sound of Toro Feather just humming so close to that plywood. It's just, you feel it in your bones, Kyle.
Nice hit there. That was beautiful. Oh, nice hit there.
See a little dent on the top of Toro Feather, but can that thing actually pierce through that top armor?
Hey, if it compacts it in enough, it won't matter if it can go through.
Wow.
Nice hit there. Knockoff White is not sparing their hammer hits at all. They are just launching that thing full send into Toro Feather. This blade on Knockoff White is just beautiful and does so much damage, and it's full on going into that S7 steel weapon on Toro Feather and surviving the impacts.
Housebot's trying to get in there and help Toro Feather off of the rail, but Knockoff White is just like, nah.
I believe that was the unstick for Toro Feather, and Knockoff White might be leaving them there. Toro Feather is attempting to gyro themselves off of the wall using the gyroscopic force, the gyroscopic precession of their weapon, but now it seems as though they've gotten themselves more stuck, and they are out of unsticks. Fluffy is not allowed to come in there and take them off the wall.
Here we go. Is this a count out happening?
I do believe this is a knockout! Amazing! Toro Feather has been sent down to the elimination bracket.
And so to the elimination final where Phenomenon faced off against Toro Feather.
Fight, robots, fight.
All right, good speed right out of the box here from Toro. Oh! Finding the side of Phenomenon. Oh, no! And the belt is off Phenomenon. The belt is gone for Brendan's robots.
Phenomenon.
Toro here looking for the angle. There's the tap out. Oh, that is a fast match.
Congratulations, a tap out. You're moving on. You're grand finalists. You must be feeling great.
Oh, I'm great. I'm so glad that we're not stuck in the cage again. And actually, we were worried, of course, because this is a very good robot. It's a larger weapon than ours, so we knew that we couldn't go straight ahead. We had to try to outdrive him. So fortunately, it worked out. I'm Marco Meggiolaro. I'm the team captain of Minotaur. I'm the coordinator of the RioBotz teams, and I have many students working not only on Minotaur but in robots in all weight categories, from 150 grams until Minotaur. The first time I heard about combat robotics was late 2002. I learned about it because there was national competitions in Brazil, it was student competitions. 2003 we started competing there. We have a very intense fight scene in Brazil. Back in 2001, when I actually started in Brazil, these robot competitions, they were organized by the students from several universities. They didn't have a teacher, professor. I was kind of the only exception of a professor that was participating in the events, actually putting my hands on the robot and not just coordinating it. Many professors in the university saw that as a destructive sport. They didn't see the science in it. So one of the motivations I had to write the book, the tutorial, was of course first to teach the students and also to show that you could learn a lot about physics with this sport. I put the tutorial for free download in Brazil, and then I made an expanded version in English, which is also free on the internet. So I think it helped a lot. Many teams, when they win against us, say, hey, I won because I did that, what you taught us. That's great, because that's the impact, getting better than your teacher. When I started coordinating the RioBotz team in the university, there was a huge impact on the students. Many students that were thinking about leaving engineering because it was too tough, calculus and everything right in the first semester. And then when they saw that they had an application, that was something that they could be really useful, I think it helped them a lot. Many students that went through RioBotz during their undergraduate course, they ended up doing graduate courses in mechanical engineering and also in automation control. They're working in several companies in Brazil about automation, and they usually say that they learned a lot from the team. Actually, even they said that during their job interview, they were asked if they wanted the RioBotz team, and the guys usually smile because they know they have some hands-on training as well, not only the academic background. So I think helped them become better engineers. Many teams that were created, they had in Brazil, they have bots in the end with Z because of RioBotz, so they want to be their version of RioBotz. That makes me proud because they want to look up to, and they can win against us. That's the best thing. See, they are getting better than us as well.
Who do you think that you've seen here that would do well in the competitions that you guys have in Brazil, that run in Brazil?
Oh, so many teams. I can't even name them. You know, actually, the funny thing is that many famous robots I met here for the first time.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Because I've been competing in the West Coast in the past, so I knew more of the West Coast scene, and many good robots didn't compete there. So
absolutely,
I saw them in 3D live, and it was very exciting. I learned a lot from this. I think NHRL Havoc is the best organized competition that I've been into, that I've seen. It's nice to see how many builders they attract. And I watched the stream back to back, and I was amazed about the quality of the competitors here. See many people, many familiar faces also from Battlebots here. That was the best place to test our robots. So that's what drove us to come here and be here. If you're gonna fly to the US to fight, it's gonna be a big event. We did a 9-hour flight to Miami, and then changed for a 3-hour flight to New York, then ran to the van to come here. So it's a huge trip, like almost a one-day trip to get here, but it's worth it to be here. And I'm very happy to be here, and no matter what happens, win or lose, I'm gonna learn a lot.
And now to the undefeated semifinals in the 12-pound bracket, where Toro Jr. from the RioBotz team faced off against Carmen.
I think both of these robots are playing it a little safe here.
Absolutely. Maybe they're thinking about the fact that this is going to be a long day, a long tournament.
Still big hit after big hit.
Wow, Carmen's really going to town now.
Carmen getting a little braver.
Very aggressive with that volley of hits there. I think it was 4 big hits in a row. There's another big end-over-end hit.
You can see chunks coming off of Toro Jr. That is a sturdy frame on Toro, so any damage like that is really impressive. Carmen may be stuck here.
Looks like it. That's their unstick. They just got an unstick from Fluffy, our house bot. Carmen went on a huge volley of attacks, and now they are currently completely immobile.
In the countdown,
and we now have declared a winner.
Jamison Goes Psycho and Ramplan went head-to-head in the other undefeated semifinal.
Oh boy, look at these long forks on Ramplan and the short little baby forks on Psycho. Can Psycho get through those forks and land yet another big hit? Incredible!
The fight went the distance, with the judges giving a unanimous decision to Ramplan. Psycho then dropped to the elimination bracket, where Crunk was beaten with a swift tap-out before progressing to the elimination final, thanks to a forfeited match against Carmen.
Rushes.
Oh, there's a self-right. Oh,
nice!
And
that's an instantaneous tap-out.
Back up to the undefeated bracket now, where Ramplan and Toro Jr. met in the championship match to see who would go on to face the winner of the elimination bracket in the 12-pound grand final.
All right, the winner of this fight's going to go on to the grand finals.
Absolutely amazing work from both of these bots today. Ramplan, of course, was kind of the apex predator in our not often used and not often talked about sportsman division. Decided to go full combat in this competition and has been on an absolute tear, undefeated so far today. And I cannot believe it, but they are not only holding their own, they're actually dominating this fight with Toro Jr.
Yeah, so far, and that's one of the things you see with these multi-wedgelet designs. They are so potent. Okay, oh, and there's the arm.
There goes the weapon on Ramplan. Now, it doesn't look like that does much, but that arm is actually able to lift Ramplan and their opponents up and manipulate them around the environment. It gives Ramplan a lot more angles and choices in the way that they interact. Now, they're just a wedge.
This went to the judges, who decided unanimously that, thanks to destroying Ramplan's arm, Toro Jr. took the win to secure a place in the grand final. In the final of the elimination bracket, Psycho and Ramplan met once again to decide who would go on to the grand final.
These two faced each other earlier in the competition. Psycho was the first bot to actually rip the weapon off of Ramplan, but Ramplan came out victorious in that match, and the weapon's gone again!
He's done it again!
One of the things that is scariest about Jamison Go as a competitor is if you beat him once, do not expect you will have the advantage in that second fight. He always learns from his losses. He always comes back with modifications and improvements.
Big concussive hits here, and look at this, putting Ramplan into the corner.
Obviously, his strategy with Psycho has changed dramatically since last time he fought Ramplan.
Kyle, with 75 seconds left here in this fight, Jamison Go is ahead on the points. I'm a little concerned by the amount of damage on the floor. Huge hit there. Jamison Go has to be really careful not to get stuck on these wooden floors.
Yes, especially with those very, very spiky forks. Ramplan attempting to get unstuck there from Bubbles, our house bot.
The judges awarded Jamison Go and Psycho the win to set up a grand final fight with Toro Jr.
2, 1, fight. Robots fight.
Oh, good speed right out of the box from Toro. Oh, Psycho finding the low ground.
Weapon-to-weapon impact goes in the direction of Psycho in that first hit, but not right there at the end. Toro took the advantage on that one. Pretty evenly matched for these hits after the fact. You can hear these competitors are revving up their motors, trying to get more speed behind the tips of their weapons just so they can knock each other end over end there.
It looks like Jamison is trying to go weapon on weapon. He has a lot of faith in his drum. The drum is certainly thinner, smaller. He's got a smaller profile than Toro, but he is finding the low ground here, using those forks to his advantage. Toro and Minotaur, that entire class of that line of robots, is not known for their forks. It's not known for their ground game. So really, Jamison Go has thought his way through this fight and is coming up with, so far, a winning strategy.
Absolutely. Oh, there we go. A little volley back from Toro Jr.
Toro Jr., of course, looking for those angles. They want to try and get Psycho on its side, on the back of the robot, really just driving circles around Psycho. And it looks like Jamison Go is slowing down.
Yeah, perhaps
like it could be impaired.
A little bit of drive issues there on the right side of the bottom, maybe. Hard to tell from this angle. Just not seeing a lot of movement, a lot of gyro dancing backwards. Nice hit there from Psycho.
Yeah, if I was the driver of Toro here, I would try and avoid these weapon-on-weapon hits because I am losing these exchanges.
Wow, it does look like that left side of Psycho might be completely out.
Yeah, we do see some crab walking there from Psycho. You know, in some ways, this is the kind of end game-esque strategy of staying in the center of the box and just pointing your weapon at your opponent.
Yeah, make them come to you, and when they do, they're gonna go face first into your weapon.
Toro here, considerably more mobile, would love to try and get around to the back. They're gonna have to be a whole lot faster than that. Whoa, another big hit. And the weapon on Toro is down.
I think that is true, and that is definitely what JMO and Psycho needed to show the judges here at the end. Oh, wait a minute, that was a weapon hit from Toro.
No, it wasn't. They just, they went weapon on weapon. That weapon is dead.
Oh, no. Look at that separation in the frame.
Jamison Go called his shots. Wow.
Oh, my goodness. Look at all that separation. You can see a motor visible there that is not supposed to be visible inside of Toro Jr. Jamison, super.
The judges again awarded the fight to Psycho, which meant a rematch to decide the 12-pound bracket winner for the July event.
We are going to go into the grand finals for 12-pounders.
Wow.
Jamison Go called his shot earlier in the day saying, I will beat Toro Jr. And he did so. This is their final match of the night. This is the final 12-pound match of the day. The winner here will go home with $1,000 and a golden dumpster.
The drivers are set. This is winner takes all.
Winner takes most, because second place also gets $400. That's not bad.
Unless they take the 400 too.
There you go.
1. Fight. Robots fight.
Oh boy. 2 calculated opens.
Here we go. In their earlier match, Psycho was able to successfully get under Toro Jr. using those long forks and that thinner drum spinner.
Toro Jr. this match making sure not to go straight into Psycho in those 2 forks, like you had just mentioned, Luke. Trying to do everything they can to strafe around, using that gyro to, come in at different angles that Jameson might not be able to so easily defend against.
That was a huge hit from Psycho on Toro Jr. You could just feel that here in your chest, sending Toro Jr. into the air. That's what we saw in their earlier match, successfully getting under Toro. And Toro here trying to outdrive Jameson Go, which is a very difficult task. Psycho successfully landing these huge hits. Oh, that's an error.
Wow.
Psycho was on its head momentarily, but was able to gyro itself back.
Again.
And look at this, there's a piece of metal in the box. Is that functional?
Was that off the side of Psycho? Or was that one of the teeth, perhaps, on Toro Jr.? I can't tell.
This is the first time that I've seen Jameson Go sweat in this match. He's found himself pushed back into his blue corner, and Toro's now leaving to try and reset itself. But it does look like part of the drive on Psycho is down. 75 seconds left here in this match. And this has been a true back and forth. Really, Jameson Go needs to score a knockout here.
Wow, even with the partial drive down, Jameson Go is still able to do a great job of squaring up with Toro Jr.
That is a very tough thing to do, especially when part of your drive is locked up, trying to keep your weapon pointed at your opponent. The driver of Toro Jr. is very good, looking for those angles, doing these wide drifting arcs. This is the Minotaur style, the RioBotz style of drive.
30 seconds left in this match.
These big drifting arcs and then that speed coming in. And really here with the damage on Psycho's drive. Toro Jr. is looking virtually unscathed. Look at that, that's a good
big hit.
And they both escaped the countout. This one will go to the judges. The judges will be deciding the grand final here for 12-pound full combat. Last 12-pound match of the day. Round of applause for 2 titans in this sport.
What a duel.
Amazing. All right, let's take a look here at this replay. I think the judges need to watch this one too, because this was a very close match.
So the winner of the 12-pound bracket, thanks to a unanimous judges' decision, was Toro Jr. and the RioBotz team. Let's hear from the team captain, Marco Antonio Meggiolaro.
Toro Jr., he came from the ashes twice. We have to rebuild it completely after 2 fights. So what these guys did with the time they had was amazing. It's all teamwork. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to get it ready again after the beating we took in the last time from Jameson.
Tough competitor. You had to beat him twice. And you came all this way, so it's got to feel good to be coming home with something, not only something, but the grand prize.
Yeah. And I'm so happy because now we will be able to be here in December with 2 robots, so that's the best part of it.
Your weekend, how was it? If you could rate it 1 to 10, what would you give it?
Well, 11, of course.
11!
There we go, Marco.
All right, well, you have been awarded the coveted golden dumpster, $1,000 prize as well. Who wants to hold it first? Wait a minute. Yeah. Congratulations, guys.
Awesome. Amazing. Marco Antonio Meggiolaro from Team RioBotz, bringing so many robots here to this competition today.
Minotaur actually is a large Toro because our first drum bot was a middleweight, was Toro, that's debuted in 2006 Robo Games. Our robots were almost always the smallest in the competition. And the first time we won in 2004, people were making fun like, oh, hey, what's that small thing here? And that's the small thing that won. And since then, I think a lot of Brazilians have tried to make more compact and robust bots. If you learn driving a middleweight, when you're driving a heavyweight, it's like everything in slow motion. Your reflexes are much faster when you start driving the small bots, and you cannot do some things that's just gonna burn the motor of a heavyweight, while the middleweight you can get away with it. We learn a lot from all these weight categories, especially Toro Maximus, to get to Minotaur. So basically, Minotaur is the inside of Toro Maximus with a thicker armor, so and maybe a little bit heavier drum. Basically, a structure. We got the extra 30 pounds, mostly for the structure of the robot.
Toro Feathers win set up a grand final against Knockoff White.
So impressive to have a hammer bot like that, make it this deep.
6. Yeah, it's just such a clever design from these guys on Bots FC. They really do some phenomenal work over there.
And here we'll get to see a little more phenomenal work, I'm sure. Look at the size difference between these two robots.
Absolutely, completely different design philosophies. Knockoff White is made to be big and heavy.
Frankly, I don't understand why someone would build such a large robot.
Well, it weighs, I think, 47 pounds or something like that. They have a weight bonus because it's a walker or a shuffler. And then they have another weight bonus because of the foam mini-bot.
Oh, and there goes a wheel.
No, that's actually a plate of
right.
armor. That's covering I guess you could say
the stub axle, the drive shaft.
The drive shaft, because there's 2 on each set of shufflers.
Yep. Now you can see, wow, look at that hit.
And you can still see a little bit of bent-in damage on that plate, I think from their first fight today.
Yeah.
Now there we see Fluffy coming in to do the unstick. That is the one unstick Toro Feather gets in this fight. They do not get any more. So if Knockoff White is able to get them pinned on the wall again, this fight could very well be over. Oh, that was brutal.
Wow. Knockoff White doing a really fantastic job, and it is embedded.
Stabbed in there, and you can
that
see
is what that hammer wants to do.
That hammer bent inside of Toro. It got torqued so much inside of the chassis of that bot that it's actually now permanently bent.
Yeah, really.
Oh, it went in again.
And again.
They have found a soft spot in the back of Toro Feather.
A squishy underbelly. Overbelly, perhaps?
Perhaps, but what they haven't found yet is the batteries, the speed controllers, the transmitter, it's all, or the receiver, it is all still functioning.
Oh, look at how deep it went.
Wow.
The penetration is just fantastic. You can see it glowing.
He's using it as like a control bot now.
Yeah, it's a keep-away stick. It's like watching Michael Jordan pick up a toddler by the head and say, you know, swing away.
Look at how deep that is embedded. We still have 56 seconds left in this fight. If these bots are not able to separate, they might have to pause this match.
They might.
Yeah,
you know, the one man holds the rivet, and Rosie the Riveter comes with the machine.
Look at how deeply embedded this is.
That is, I'd almost say it's clean through. Like they may have hit the other side of the robot.
I really do feel like Knockoff White has their number.
Yeah. That weapon on Toro is just, it's so hard to get any fight on the UHMW that surrounds Knockoff White.
That's exactly right, yes.
Oh, and I think that weapon may be down on Toro Feather. Oh no, I spoke too soon. Those are beefy belts, Kyle.
Very beefy belts. Yeah, and they built these bots very, very sturdily in Brazil.
They really did. Whoa, right into that slot between the weapon and the chassis.
And so this closely fought final went to the judges, who determined Knockoff White the winner of the 30-pound bracket.
Well, we had the experience of the first fight, and we saw what we did wrong. We fixed it. We were really good at corralling them in the first fight, and we lost it when we hopped on top of them. So we really just didn't want to hop on top of them. You know, we corralled them with our second robot and just got them into the walls. When we kept them with their top panel up, we were able to pierce it. So that was really working out for us. You know, the hammer was firing, the drive was working. I really like when the robot works how it's supposed to. So, yeah, it was good.
Well, congratulations. we have the golden dumpster filled with $1,000 that I'm gonna hand on off to you. Who wants it? Share it.
Hold
I
that
love
up
it.
high, fellas.
Yes.
Look at that. The picture of victory.
A fixture of NHRL are the exhibition and grudge matches, where builders happily put their eliminated bots into a cage to get destroyed, all in the name of fun and havoc. Depth Charge going up against 8 Beetles was the highlight from July.
3, 2, 1. Fight. Robots fight.
Let's go, Dustin. Here we go.
Whoa. That was one of the shreddits that just got launched across the arena there. Oh, the pizza box got ripped open.
Depth Charge just flinging itself around the box. Robert runs and Crash Fest wedging himself under those twin blades. Robert, this is not designed for you to win, Robert.
Robert was not designed to win any of this, so he's just trying to prove everybody wrong once again. Oh, that's the entire weapon assembly.
Wow, that was a big hit. All right, let's see if Depth Charge can spin itself up. It can. Here we go.
Oh, no, it's alive. It's alive.
Yes! Big hit there. This pizza box looks sad. Oh, Kyle, I don't think you're going to be getting delivery anytime soon. It's going to be more than 30 minutes for the delivery of this pizza. Ow!
Whoa, that's the guts of the pizza box all gone.
And now he's going after
cutting boards right there. Oh, that's all gone. That's all gone. It looked like Depth Charge was attempting to reverse direction there just to get himself going in a different direction.
Depth Charge is high-centered on a piece of the pizza bot.
Oh, yeah, you're right. That Vector kit plate that they were using as armor.
Wow. Whoa!
Whoa! Launching themselves across the box there.
Here we go. Kyle, every single time that robot hits the floor, you can hear it in here, you can feel it in your chest. Okay, this is how he reached the box last time, Kyle! What? Ow!
Oh my goodness, that weapon is terrifying.
Don't do it! This is mayhem, this is carnage, this is madness, and I love it. Woo! Wow. Amazing.
10 seconds left in this match. Oh my goodness.
Should we call for an encore? It's amazing.
I don't even know if anything's functioning enough to have an encore at this point. Certainly the floor isn't.
Wow. A round of applause for Dustin Eswine and Depth Charge. Amazing.
That was utterly terrifying.
In the undefeated final, Twin Beast from Team AGVS came up against Brian Boxall and his bot Eruption.
Now, this is the undefeated final, right, Kyle? So we're going to head next to the grand final, whoever wins this. Now, that means that the loser of this still has a chance.
Oh, absolutely. They might make it all the way to the final. That's happened in the past.
It's happened multiple times. So neither of these robots will be fighting for the last time in this arena. It's just a question of who goes in on top to the grand final.
That's
7,
exactly right.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fight. Robots fight.
Whoa, Twin Beast launching themselves in that corner, giving them a slight disadvantage in this early engagement just because they were a little bit off kilter at the beginning.
Eruption firing on all cylinders immediately. it's such an impressive charge that it can make towards its opponent. Launching Twin Beast across the arena. Chunks coming out.
Oh, nasty hit there.
It really, really is. Neither of these robots is going to walk out of this arena unscathed.
We have not seen Twin Beast get manhandled like this. Absolutely dominated in this entire competition.
And Twin Beast not moving.
Oh, they were able to self right there, but are they able to drive? We're not sure. That was both of those hub motors going just fine, it looks like.
Yeah, Twin Beast uses a really interesting drive system, and when the robot gets pushed out of shape, pushed out of whack like it did in those big hits, that drive system can fail pretty quickly. So
interesting.
I'm interested to see if they can bring it back, but I think this is going to be the end for Twin Beast. They're going to try a little unhooking. Oh, I think this may be the end. I hear a count out. No,
that's a
How'd it go down? Well, Eruption secured a place in the 3-pound bracket grand final. Meanwhile, Twin Beast dropped to the elimination bracket final to face Adrift, with the winner to face Eruption in the grand final.
2, 1.
Fight, robots, fight.
All right, good spin up from both of these.
Oh!
Yes! Carter finds himself.
Oh, no!
The house bots. Is it just high-centered? Carter is stuck up against the rail.
Wow.
Twin Beast is there. That weapon is twitching. Will Carter's weapon come back? I don't think it will. That weapon
my goodness!
Hitting the roof. Wagner here with Twin Beast. It is sounding like a jet engine.
Unbelievable.
Now, one of the big things that Wagner has to do here is not drive so aggressively that it gets himself stuck in a silly spot. I don't want to characterize an entire country's drive style, but the Brazilians are very aggressive drivers. They like to go full send. They want to cross the entire box. He has already defeated Adrift functionally. All he has to do is stay alive for another 2 minutes, and he is advancing to the grand finals. But Wagner is not content with that.
Goodness.
He wants a knockout.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to run his bot for another 100, minute and 40 seconds. I think he wants to just end this in the next 10.
You can see the back plate on Adrift being peeled back. And look at this, the weapon on Adrift is back.
How the two turntables and a microphone. Oh,
and
no, there's the belt.
That belt is off of Adrift. That weapon is not coming back. 70 seconds left here in this fight. This is the end of the road for Adrift. Wagner here just landing hit after hit after hit, sending Carter's robot into the ceiling.
Incredible.
50 seconds left here. Wagner's 50 seconds away from going to the grand final.
I mean, at this
Look
stage,
at that!
wow!
Wagner! Able to gyro himself back off of the rail.
Unbelievable.
Huge hits here.
Start to see that frame on Adrift peeling up. After 2.5 minutes of this, I'm almost surprised this thing is still in one piece.
I just love that symmetrical jet sound. It is gorgeous. It is absolutely gorgeous. Final 10 seconds here. They've both escaped the countout. This one will go to the judges.
Oh!
One more hit. Let's go.
Wow.
And so the grand final of the 3-pound bracket for our July event saw Brian Boxall and Eruption take on Twin Beast from Team AGVS.
Sending Twin Beast down to the elimination bracket, having to fight their way back up here to get another chance.
And here they are.
8.
If
7,
Twin Beasts win,
6,
we have to have this match
5,
all over
4,
again. If
3,
Eruption wins,
2, 1.
they are crowned
Fight,
the
robots,
champion.
fight.
Whoa!
Eruption coming out swinging.
Wow, beautiful back and forth at the beginning of this match. Very powerful box rush from Eruption.
Oh, Eruption's
Twin
weapon
Beast.
is no longer spinning. We'll see if that's temporary or not. Oh, it spun a bit, but I believe that was just Twin Beast weapon hitting the other weapon.
Yeah, loaning them a little kinetic energy there.
Tap out.
That is
With Twin Beast inflicting damaging hits on the undefeated Eruption, Brian Boxall made the very smart decision to tap out, allowing time to regroup and rebuild, ahead of a rematch to decide the winner of the 3-pound grand final.
This is the first ever hub motor final. These weapons are very similar in their design in the sense that the motor that drives them is actually inside of the weapon.
Fight, robots, fight.
Up to speed, and Eruption doing what it has done all day, getting that first hit and not letting up.
Twin Beast struggling to find some footing on the ground. One of its weapons appears to be down already.
Oh my goodness, we have not even seen that today or any time this weekend, actually. There's smoke coming out of Twin Beast. What is happening now?
Way to go, folks! Twin Beast is a smoldering wreck. You have a tap out, and your winner by tap out is Eruption. What a way to go, Kyle!
This is how you finish a competition, Brian Boxall. Love it! Yes!
So after one of the most incredible finales at Norwalk, with a giant plume of smoke pouring out of smoldering Twin Beast, the winner of the 3-pound grand final was Brian Boxall and Eruption. The decision to tap out and rebuild his robot proving an inspired move.
Can you take me through the match really quick? You know, complete opposite from the first match, 20 minutes. What a big difference that made.
All right, I'm going to do you one better and go back to our first fight with Twin Beast. That one was a back and forth slugfest, huge hits. So I knew what the two robots were capable of. Now that first finals match, my weapon motor came unplugged. And then when that happened, he had free reign to go on my drive. So I had to go back, I had to solder up a couple of connectors, rebuild my drive, and I was really sweating it. And for that finals match, I made the all-important upgrade of zip tie your connector shut.
Yeah. Dad, what is your reaction to all of this?
Oh, I am so proud of this kid. He has done such a great job, and the design he has put into this robot is, phenomenal on his hub weapon. I can't say how proud I am of him.
You're gonna make me tear up. All right, well, lastly, you have the golden dumpster, you have the prize money. Congratulations on a great weekend here at Norwalk.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Wow, all right. Let's hear it for the Boxalls. Brian Boxall is your champion for one last time.
Jim to spend his last moments at NHRL.
Throwing on the spacesuit and getting into the box just like he likes to be.
Thank you,
yes,
Jim.
thank you, Jim. The crowd is chanting, thank you, Jim. I love it.
A giant cloud, a couple of tongs.
Got to grab that bot and get
what
it.
What a great way to spend an evening.
Get it into the trash can, get it into the sand, and get it outside, because those fires burn for quite some time, so they've got to take it out.
Yeah, close that door.
Amazing.
We are wafting over here right now.
Yeah, a little bit of lipo
Not
love
a
out
lot.
here. They did a great job keeping it. Look at that. That's the remains of the fire extinguisher going off in there. They're trying to get this bot all the way outside so it can burn out safely.
You know, I think that may well have been a motor controller, actually, Kyle.
Really?
Based on the scent.
Ah, interesting.
There's a smell in the air, and it smells a lot like electronics or windings rather than battery.
Yeah, not so much lithium polymer burning up, but the electronic components burning up.
A nice thumbs up from Jim. Safe and sound.
Safe and sound outside. The fire has been extinguished. Appreciate you, Jim.
Now, can you give us an official ruling on what's going on here?
Well, you see, I don't see an active weapon here, so we're gonna have to get this out of the building.
Oh,
I'll take it for you guys.
Okay, all right. I'm glad that you're on the case. Listen, Jim, you have been such a pillar here. We are all really just pleased and so honored to have had you for the time that we've had you. And this is the least we can do to thank you.
Yeah.
I know all of us share the same sentiment. We've got a nice card for you. We, just thanks for all you've done. Norwalk wouldn't be what it is without you.
Wait, I just want to say thank you actually to the community. When I started here almost 2 years ago now, I didn't know much about combat robotics. And this community has been so incredible in welcoming me in, and I've learned so much from all the builders here. So I'm happy that I was able to make such a great event.
Jim, your impact on this community, on our rule set, on the way we do things, on our safety procedures is going to last a very long time, well past when you graduate from college. We do have just a little tribute that the team put together for you, so let's go ahead and play that right now.
This looks like a job for head referee Jim Haney.
One side to encouraging that is that people will come up with bots that we could never envision.
Jim on standby with the Windex and towels and the throw-up bucket.
Three, two, one.